Okay, hey everyone, I don't think the audio is getting picked up from my microphone, so it's getting picked up by my webcam, so the audio is going to be a little bad. So some quick updates. Sorry I haven't been updating lately. I had 2 videos that were lined up, but me and my intern were too busy. So let's go through the list. Main office knows how to make magnetic minxes now. The magnetic rings for the vault power were cancelled a while ago. That's because they wanted to work with some other ideas, so they're not going to do the rings. What's next? I taught main office how to do the basic coatings, but coding technology is like, there's so much more to coatings than what exists already. Like, there's so many things I haven't tried yet, and there's like a huge list of things that I'm gonna try. So I'm always improving coatings. That's what I'm working on. I'm working on a few other projects. So one of my projects recently is Project Silencer. So basically, let me talk about some science. In engineering, there's this thing called an anechoic chamber. You can look it up. And they use this to test electronics. And it absorbs all kinds of emissions and sound. So there you have this. They have a bunch of foam cones that absorb sound, and I got some of that sound absorbing foam, and I used a CNC machine to cut it to the exact shape of the inside of a Rubik's Cube piece, or not a Rubik's Cube, a Roblox Cube piece. So there's a speed cube with the foam inside, and I thought that that would absorb the sound, dampen the sound, but it didn't make much of a difference. It made a small difference, but it's not enough of a difference to be worth the effort. I'll be working with that a little bit more to make quiet cubes. Working on a few other secret things. Hopefully I can get those out at Nationals. But it's also final season. So one of the things I demoed at a competition recently was mid-coast cubing. And it was called Infinitas. That's to go with the same Latin root words with the gravitas and gosh, I forget my own names. The other one. I'm also trying not to say like the other ones, so I have a few other ones lined up, also in the same Latin root word form. But yeah, dignitas, that's what it was. So Infinitas is, it's basically, it takes all the chemicals in the coatings, but it's blended differently, and I mixed it with some other chemicals that stabilize it so that it doesn't evaporate quickly and it slowly bonds into the plastic of the cube. So you can apply it into the cube, and as you work it around and use it, it'll apply the coating onto the inside of the plastic for you at home. And the more you use it, the more plastic gets built up, and as you use the cube, it should keep the cube plastic good forever, so you'll never wear through it. But no one actually does wear through their cubes like all the way. But yeah, that was Infinitas. I sampled it at Mid-Coast Cubing to a bunch of people. They tried it. I think public reception was pretty good. This cube is coated with a special coating, and this is going to be the main talk about today. This is the Yuxin Huanglong 3x3. And I know a lot of people comment on how I say Yuxin. It's because in 2015, I heard Anthony Brooks say Yuxin, and I was like, oh my god, that sounds really funny, I'm going to start saying it now. So I'm not serious when I say Yuxin, but I like the way it sounds. So this is my own coated with my own magnets, and this is the magnetic one from the box, which is like 20 something bucks. And, oh wait, no, this is a Volk. Yeah, this is a Volk. This is it. So I thought it was the Volk because the colors, they're different from, it's like, they're halfway between the Volk and the GTS. So they're like a gradient of blue. It's like in between the GTS blue and the Volk blue, which is the deep blue, and the greens are like, it's the dark green. So I like the dark green. I don't have my calipers on me, but this seems like it'd be 50, no, it's 55.5, I think. I don't have my calipers. But the Huanglong 3x3, the flagship 3x3 for Yuxin, it comes in 2 versions. magnetic and non-magnetic, and honestly speaking, the magnetic version from the factory is pretty darn good, and it comes with like ball bearings here. The biggest thing about ball bearings is it increases rotational weight, and if you've taken Physics 1, like basic kinematics, and you look at torque, and you'll know that rotational weight, it has more effect on turns than just weight. So the cube itself feels light, but the turns feels like a cube that's above its weight. And that's a big thing. That's really unique and intelligent of Yuxin. But what's not intelligent and unique is how they did it. Like the ball bearings, if you drop this cube, the ball bearings just rattle around the whole freaking cube, and you'll have to track down which corner it is. And even if you glue it in, it can still do this, which is really, really, really incredibly annoying. I wish that they used like triangular weights or something, or pyramid bearings or weights. But the ball bearings, although they perform well, if you drop the cube, it's going to rattle, and I can just see like in competition people dropping this, and it's going to rattle around. It's going to be annoying. I'm not sure if it's worth the trouble, but by itself, it's a wonderful, brilliant innovation, increasing rotational weight, not normal weight. Now the GANs did this back in like the ancient times in 2014 and 2015, I think. But the thing about those weights is they weren't on the corners, and they weren't like on the radius. Like these bearings are like right on the edge, like not the edge, but like the very distant part of the corner, and that makes it feel a lot more. It feels like there's not a lot more inertia than there actually is. So the magnetic version from the box, because of the thin plastic, you can really feel the magnets more than like, say like normal Cuber House cubes. The Yuxin factory magnetic one, it'll get the job done, and if you're on a budget, this will get the trick done. So my boss Phil at cubicle.us, he also sent me a non-magnetic one, which I put my own magnets into. I also put the ball bearings, and it also comes with an extra set of springs. I used default springs, but out of curiosity, I did take out the spring and I compared it, and I said, oh, that doesn't look too different. So I really, really, really like the fact that the Yuxin cubes come with two washers, one below the spring and one below the actual head of the screw. I just like that extra reassurance, even though I'm sure it doesn't do that much. But yeah, that's a GTS. Alright, so looking at the pieces, it's just like a magick, except without the little magick, without the annoying texture. It feels, because of the bearings, it feels way different from the little magick. And there's like small differences. The stupid torpedoes are still there, but they get the job done. Reassembling this cube's a pain. But all in all, I highly recommend it. Now the coated version, I might make this my name. It's smooth, it doesn't catch that much, and it has a more solid feel because of the bearings and the coatings. So, like I said, coating technology is going to continue to improve. I'm not even close to the best possible feature of coatings. I have to test new grafting agents, new solvents, new polymers, but it's going to get there, and it's going to get good. So let's do an average of 24, and then I have to get studying for finals. I have to program some things because I'm in college again, guys. And the cool thing about college is I'm going to graduate next year, because I already have a degree and all my credits counted, and programming is really fun, so I'm really getting into it. I'm going to graduate college as a computer science major in 2019, halfway through the year, and that's surreal to me. I might mess up, I might graduate into the winter, but once I finish college next year, I'm probably going to go back to the cubicle, and we're going to do some crazy stuff, like, as fast as we can, and it's going to be good. So, let's get to the average. This is a really good cube. I highly recommend getting like the magnetic version, but if you're a DIY person, get the normal version. This is a really, really, really good cube. Yuxin finally did a good job. Alright, let's get started. Alright, now it's set. I'm really out of practice, guys. You'll notice it's a really quiet cube, too. And the coating only makes it more quiet. I think... Okay, so soon coatings will probably be available at Cubicle. Coatings will always evolve, so keep an eye out for new and special coatings, guys. Okay, I still have to get used to this cube. Let's start over. Okay.